Hi, I'm Zuzana Gibb. I come from Slovakia. I have been living in Scotland for the last 15 years. I would say I'm a bit of a mix of a designer, artist, and a printmaker. I have a silkscreen printing studio in a small village in Scottish Borders. So a little bit about my design background. I started with hand-printed wallpaper, and I used to sell my own designs as well as taken on commissions. On the side, I was, and I still am, running residential silkscreen printing courses and wallpaper courses. The students who come are usually a lot of fun and interesting, and their artworks are hugely inspirational and always spark of ideas within my own design work. And it is really great to see how an initial sketch turns into a beautiful wallpaper design. These are banana leaves done by an Australian lady. Anyway, 8 years ago, I have met Bronagh O'Kane, with whom I co-founded a company called All Good. All Good closed down last year, but over the years, we have designed and sold very quirky and lovable prints, hand-printed cushions, lampshades, and fabrics. I was the main designer in the company, and as you can see, my inspiration came from nature itself, especially Scottish countryside. So a lot of pine trees, rolling hills, badgers, foxes. My designs tend to be very colorful, but I think overall look is quite muted and calm. Here is my lovely son, Hamish, who was 5 or 6 at the time, and he's modeling and holding 2 All Good floor cushions. And as you can see, he was not taking this very seriously. He was sticking his tongue out. So after All Good, I have been occupying myself with freelance-based design work, such as these Tempest beer labels. Recently, I have been commissioned to create a graphic design for use on fabrics for a new hospital that is just being built in Haddington in East Lothian. And this is the project I'm going to talk about. So East Lothian Community Hospital is being funded by Edinburgh and Lothian Health Foundation. And the project curator and the project manager is Arabella Harvey from Round Table Projects. And she keeps an eye on all the artists and designers. Here are the artists who have been commissioned for this project: number of sculptors, photographers, music composers, and poets. Each of us is required to deliver artworks that will fill the internal and external spaces of the hospital. We are also required to take inspiration from the surrounding landscape and rich coastal and industrial heritage of East Lothian. As you can see, what we all have in common are natural, organic, flowing lines, calming colors, and inspiration always comes from nature around us. And this is the poet, Colin Will. Colin and I are also collaborating on renaming the individual wards and departments in the new hospital and giving them new visual identities. He's obviously coming up with the words and me with the designs. The hospital has been designed by Kepi Design Architects from Glasgow, and it is a rather modernish building with vertical, colourful baguettes. The hospital is still under construction, and this is the only part that has been finished and is already in use by patients. The architects are distinguishing each floor using colour. Green is for the ground floor, representing vegetation and plants. Warm oranges for the first floor, representing hills and buildings, and blue for the top floor, representing skies and coastlines. Since I live in Scottish Borders, a big part of my research for this project is actually absorbing East Lothian. So I have become a perfect East Lothian tourist. I'm visiting famous landmarks, taking photographs, and talking to people. On my hikes and walks, I have been asking whoever I meet what is the first word that comes to their mind when they hear East Lothian, and this is what I have collated so far. Farming, fishing, beautiful autumn trees, golf, Scottish rugby, landmarks, market towns, historic castles, hill forts, art, music, architecture, wind, bass rock, hills, seas, big skies, moors, harbours, shores, sunrises and sunsets. Here we are. In my research, I cannot leave out the famous environmentalist John Muir. His legacy is far-reaching and beyond East Lothian borders. I had the pleasure of interviewing East Lothian Council's museum officer at John Muir's birthplace in Dunbar. All the artists are also required in their research to engage with local community, hospital staff and patients. At the moment, I'm running a week-long project at MADE, which is Art Hub in Haddington, and did a workshop with Dunbar Dementia Carers Support Group. I'm also scheduled to do a workshop with the hospital itself. Through the community engagements, I get an idea what design likes and dislikes people have, what colors calms them down, and what cheers them up. I have created a simple visual questionnaire that will help me, hopefully, to start me off with my process. And finally, these are the outcome notes. We want the design to be calming, restful, but also cheerful. Use a lot of blue and a spot of abstract. Please, no reds indicates blood, and no black because that is just too depressing.